Hey everyone, I'm Dave Stelzl, author of The House in the Cloud, and out in Nashville, Tennessee, meeting with my mastermind group this week to discuss business strategy. So I hope this is something that you do on a regular basis. Get together with people, with peers, and exchange ideas. And I would like to actually spend some time on that, but I'm not going to because there's a topic that came up just the other day as we were talking, and it's an important topic. And actually, it ties in with a conversation I had with somebody on a coaching call the other day, which was interesting, okay? And it has to do with getting in to see new people. How do we get in to see new people? This is the big problem. People are having trouble getting in, right? Getting access to somebody, making phone calls, making lots of calls, not getting any response, sending out emails, and occasionally I run across somebody who is successful and has gotten into accounts and says, well, they use cold calling. But when I drill into it, I often find that those people have big named accounts that they've been in for 20 years, and then they're making cold calls and they're generating a little bit of business here and there. And actually a lot of their business turns out to be referrals. They're not actually calling a cold list. And if they are, they get a deal here and there, but not enough to make a living on. And so it's actually their named accounts that are feeding them. Now, there probably are some people out there that are making cold calls and are being successful. It's conversion that really matters. But when I talk to the average person, it doesn't work. And I know why it doesn't work, because I've gone out and I've interviewed business leaders and I've asked them, and they've said, I don't answer my phone, and I get way too many voicemails from salespeople to ever respond to them. And you know what? I'm just a little company, but I have the same issue. I have a voicemail box full of salespeople who have called me, and every day I go into an app and I delete them because I don't have time to answer all those voicemails. It doesn't really matter what they're selling. And if I need something, what am I going to do? I'm going to go online and I'm going to Google for that thing. In fact, the other day I was looking for a particular sales rep in a particular area, and that's exactly what I did. They didn't just call me and I got their message just in the nick of time when I needed something. No, I went online, I Googled it, I searched and did a little research, found the person that sounded like the person I wanted to talk to, spoke with them, sure enough they had what I needed, and I bought. Okay, this is a typical sales cycle in today's world. That's just the way it works. It's how people get business. Now, if that's true, how do you stay in front of people? It is really important to start thinking outside the box, to stop thinking like a sales rep, to stop thinking that it's my job to make sales calls and send out email blasts, and start thinking more like a marketer thinks. And so we call this multimedia prospecting. Okay, that's what it is, multimedia prospecting. And I don't know what comes to mind when you say that or when you hear that term, but what should come to mind is I've got a people out there I'm trying to reach. And I'm going to not just make phone calls to them, but I'm going to start sending them stuff. A week ago or so, I put out a video about newsletters. Newsletters are an excellent way to stay in front of somebody, but you know what? Sometimes it takes a year or a year and a half of getting your newsletter before they actually respond. But here's the thing, you're in front of them constantly and they begin to know your name, and you know what? They're not annoyed by it. Another thing is sending a package to somebody who's a good prospect, somebody you really want to talk to. I would send a prospect. I was talking to a guy the other day about trade shows. I thought this was really interesting. He does a lot of work with trade shows, and he said to me, you know, when you go to a trade show, the average sales team is standing behind the desk. They've got a fishbowl and they're collecting postcards. Or business cards. What should they be doing? He said they should be out on the floor. They should be handing stuff out to people. They should be pointing them to their thing. And they should be asking them. They should be overt. They should be saying, hey, have you thought about doing this year? You know, have you thought about having a security risk assessment this year? When was the last time you had one? They should be out on the floor. Now, you might think to yourself, well, that might be kind of annoying for the people who are walking around. You know what? It might be. But you know what? You generate a whole lot more business because there are people out there who are going to love what you do, and there are other people out there who aren't. But here's the thing, you're not just going to be like everybody else, you're going to stand out. And the person who stands out, like Rush Limbaugh or one of those radio talk show hosts that's, you know, in your face in a certain area, Howard Stern would be another example. These are people who have cut off the other side of the audience, but you know what? They don't care. And why don't they care? Because the people that they do appeal to love them and follow them and are led by them. They look to them as kind of an advisor or whatever it is they look to them for. But the thing is, it converts. And I know the same is true for me. I know that there are companies out there who look at what I do and they go, well, that guy's too salesy. Well, you know what? I came up from the technical side. I have seen the pre-sales technical side. I've been in the sales side. I've run a business. And now I'm out there and I'm going, you know what? All you guys who are complaining about being salesy are flat. That's just all there is to it. And when somebody responds back to one of my emails or letters or phone calls or something like that and says, don't market to me, but they're in sales, I think to myself, wow, how good is your business? Because you don't seem to understand what sales is. So all that to say, we need to start thinking outside the box, more like marketers, and more overt, more direct. And then using different vehicles, use video, use hard copy letters, use newsletters, use emails, follow up with phone calls. But don't just make blind phone calls every day, because you won't get anywhere with that. This is the way to create new opportunity. And sure, some people are going to cut you off, they're going to unsubscribe. Let them, because you don't need those people. There's a lot of people out there who need your help right now, and if they just knew what you did and you were just in front of them at the time they needed you, like when I needed that person last week, they wouldn't be Googling, they'd pick up your newsletter or pick up your hard copy letter or whatever that they've been getting every month, and they go, oh, you know what? This guy keeps staying in touch with me. Let me check them out. And that's how to get new leads. Anyway, hope you're having a great week. I'm going to continue on here with my mastermind group, exploring all kinds of opportunities and ways to generate new business so we can grow our businesses and I can pass those opportunities or those ideas on to you.